When I was a young boy, I was different from any other kid. I was always so shy in any environment I was in, and it was really hard for me to talk. It was also really hard for me to learn anything new, and it was really hard for me to ask for any help. If I had any problems, though, I can go to my mom because she would understand me more than anybody. My mom, being my mom, though, she started to realize that there was a problem, but she couldn't really put her finger on it. So she took me to the doctors to see if there was anything wrong, and that was the day we all found out that I was diagnosed with autism. I didn't realize it then, but that had changed the rest of my life. My mom was obviously sad about the news, but she knew I had so much potential. But when the first day of school came, I was so afraid because that would be the first day that my mom would not be by my side. So before I went off to school, she would tell me that I could do anything that I set my mind to, and that she'd always be here for me. My mom is a true inspiration, and she's part of the reason of me being the person that I am today. School was very hard for me, so they put me in special education classes to help me out, and it did a lot. See, I didn't really speak or use clear words until I was in elementary, and special education helped me out with that a lot. Learning how to speak clearly and fluently was probably one of the hardest things I've ever gone through, but I'm so happy that I did learn because when I didn't speak, it was very hard to share the emotions that I had inside. Another thing that I had trouble with was how shy I was, so it was really hard to make friends, other than my dad, of course. So at my church, we all knew each other, but I couldn't walk up to anybody because I was scared that people wouldn't accept me for who I was. So one day, this kid named Michael walked up to me. Michael's a little older than I am, but he knew how shy I was, so he came to talk to me. Michael is truly one of the best friends I've ever had because he always made sure I was a part of something. He looked out for me if I were to be like his little brother, and he always gave me confidence in myself. I always felt alone, but Michael made me realize that I'm not. And then when the first day of high school came, I was still in special education classes, but a lot of my teachers told me I should be in general education classes. I really lost a lot of my confidence when I entered high school, but I had this one teacher named Mr. Lay, and when I met Mr. Lay, I knew that he was one of those teachers that you can go to and talk about any problems that you have. Mr. Lay also gives out great advice. Mr. Lay has been here for me for 4 years now, and he's the reason why I'm in general education classes. Actually, he's the reason why I'm speaking in front of all of you today. He believes that I'm very smart and very inspiring. When he told me that he thinks I'm very smart and inspiring, I was confused because I never looked at myself that way before. He made me realize that I've done so much in my life, and that gives me more confidence to do greater things in my life. Another person that thinks of me as an inspiration is my other friend Joseph. I obviously asked him why, and he told me that I went through so much in my life, but he still doesn't know how I have a smile on my face. I told him that I have people like him to thank for putting a smile on my face. Anyways, when Mr. Lay told me that he had nominated me into TEDx, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was afraid. So I went to my teachers, family, and friends, and that's when I realized what I was going to talk about: the power of words. Some of you may be questioning this topic, but when I went to the people that I can trust and ask for advice, they gave me the idea of power of the words. Their words are so powerful to me because they give me the confidence and the strength that I need to become the person that I am today. Another thing that my mom mentions to me, and I like to mention to other people, is that people with autism are the smartest people around. I feel like the worst thing we can do is feel bad for people that have autism, but the best thing we can do is to make them know that they can do anything that they put their minds to and that they're not alone. The power of words from other people is important, but the power of words within yourself is even more important. That gives you the power to define yourself and show what you can do in the world. With the power of words, you get to release the emotion and the passion that you have to create the person that you are. The power of words that you have will make a huge difference in somebody's life. The power of words that you have will create the person that you are. See, it was really hard for me to speak for most of my life, But when I found the power of words within myself, that's when I realized that's when I became the person that I am today. The power of words changed my life for sure, and I hope it changes all of yours. Before I'm done, I just wanted to say that TEDx is filled with great people with great stories. It's crazy to think how I started off as a young boy who couldn't really speak little to nothing, and now I'm here in front of all of you speaking for TEDx. Thank you all, and I hope you all have a good night.